While we're still on the point of the stitch-up in Sweden and the collusion of the CPS in torturing and prolonging the torture of a publisher, it gives me great pleasure to introduce somebody who has made very clear that rape or domestic violence against women is not acceptable. But the proceedings in Sweden were never about rape or domestic violence or justice for them. Lisa Longstaff is from Women Against Rape, which provides self-help support and legal advocacy and campaigns for justice and protection for survivors of sexual violence and domestic violence, including asylum seekers. As somebody who interacts with the criminal justice system on a regular basis, we thought it would be useful to get her perspectives on the case, and also given her long-standing association with calling out the poor practices in the persecution committed by the CPS. War's work has resulted in several legal precedents and key changes in the law, including the criminalization of rape in marriage and the first successful private prosecution for rape in England. Lisa, of course, is also from the borough of Camden and has been very active with the women of King's Cross, the prostitutes of King's Cross, helping to protect them against violence. And so it gives me great pleasure to welcome Lisa Longstaff.
Thank you very much. Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning are being pursued by states for leaking information about murder, rape, and torture in Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, and elsewhere. Soon after the major leaks, including the collateral murder video, which films US soldiers murdering a large group of civilians, there appeared allegations of sexual offences against Julian Assange in Sweden. From 2010, we have pointed out the unusual zeal with which they pursued these allegations against Assange. They wanted all along to extradite him for WikiLeaks. We said that from day one. It's been unlike any other rape we've ever seen investigation. In the Assange case, justice has been perverted. On the one hand, the women were railroaded by prosecutors and their names given to the media and splashed all over the internet. As with every rape prosecution, the women are not in charge of the case, the state is. Swedish and British prosecutors are responsible for how these allegations were handled. Evidence emerged, as has been said, that the UK Crown Prosecution Service told Sweden not to drop the cases sooner. It was clearly politically motivated. And sometimes men have chosen to defend Assange by attacking women in general, making sexist remarks about rape and about women lying about rape. This is undermining Assange. It really doesn't help, because women are always listening for whether Assange is being defended by men who belittle the anti-rape movement. On the other hand, Julian Assange has been treated by the media as if he were guilty, though he's never even been charged. There's been a sustained witch hunt against him, which supported their key aim, extradition to the US. All allegations relating to sexual offences were dropped soon after the US made their extradition request and charged him. As survivors of rape have often stated, this is far from what usually happens when we report. Let me compare what happens when women report rape, generally. We see negligent investigations. Police are now making it even harder to report. You're supposed to report a rape online, and wait to be contacted. They've neglected evidence. In 2018, the Metropolitan Police was sued for refusing to investigate serial rapist John Worboys, and that was upheld by the Supreme Court despite a £1 million legal appeal by the Metropolitan Police, backed by Theresa May. Wrong charges are often brought. In court, prosecutors aren't necessarily briefed properly. The evidence doesn't appear on time. Women increasingly are dropping out because your phone and social media are trawled to discredit you and passed to the defense. As a result of the media witch hunt which followed and enhanced the state defense of their bloody secrets, all whistleblowers and investigative journalists are now under attack. From Chelsea Manning to Snowden to Glenn Greenwald, perhaps to Craig Murray. We welcome the NUJ support for Assange. They've passed a resolution, but much more is needed. We agree with Niels Melzer, the UN rapporteur on torture, who warns of the alarming implications of the witch hunt against Julian Assange, and who carefully documented the serious psychological damage from his enforced confinement and now imprisonment. We oppose torture. We oppose the death penalty. Rape and other sexual assault and other sexual allegations against Assange have been used to pursue a political agenda intent on hiding, actually, rape, torture, and murder committed by the state. The people who want to torture him are defending rapists and murderers. Chelsea Manning blew the whistle on murder, rape, and other sexual violence, including on women and children, by the US military in those countries. Chelsea has been detained in solitary since May last year, a month before Assange was arrested, and is being fined $1,000 a day for refusing to testify to a grand jury with no public against Julian Assange. She's one of the most principled people we know of, and we must do all in our power to get her freed too. Margaret Oliver, a former detective constable, led Greater Manchester Police's investigation into sex crimes against children. She recently said the force had spent years covering up rape, and senior police officers should be now prosecuted for gross misconduct that resulted in most offenders getting away with child rape. We've worked with Shirley Oaks Survivors Association, the largest self-organised group of survivors of organised paedophilia in the UK. Teachers and social workers who blew the whistle were got rid of. Senior police detectives who got too close to power in their investigations were transferred to other jobs. The same has happened over and again elsewhere. The rape conviction rate says it all, really. Less than 3% of reported rapes lead to a conviction, granting rapists almost complete impunity. So you can't tell us the UK government cares about rape. Beware of how governments ignore or cover up rape and then manipulate allegations of rape with questionable evidence. In 2004, we in Black Women's Rape Action Project wrote to all women MPs about the rape in the Iraq War committed by US-UK occupying forces. Not a single woman MP answered. This global government's witch hunt has turned many people against Assange. People have openly called him a rapist, as if even that justifies sending a man to prison for 175 years for leaking government information about crimes against Iraqis. We refuse to let women's fury at the injustices we face through the impunity that most rapists enjoy to be used to persecute whistleblowers or journalists. This is about the freedom to report crimes by the state. It's nothing to do with justice for rape. And please use our stuff when you're tackling people on these issues. We have a long way to go to win this fight, but I can feel that the movement is growing. and it's time that we took it back and really won this once and for all in all our interests. Thanks.